If you've just written your story's climax, it's now time to wrap things up. But how do you do that in a satisfying way that leaves readers wanting to read more of your books? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today, because we're discussing how to write a strong resolution for your story. So be sure to stick around. Let's get started. Hey guys, Nour here, and welcome back to my channel. For those visiting for the first time, hello, I'm the fantasy author of the novel Divinity Falling. Be sure to subscribe for weekly writing advice videos. So you're almost near your story's finish line. This is great! But you still have to write the resolution. This is also referred to as the final image, aftermath, or denouement. But in essence, it's the ending of your story after the climax is over. Your main character defeated the antagonist and triumphed, and now it's time to wrap things up. And here are 6 ways to do that. Number 1, resolve the main conflict. You can't go into the resolution without having solved the main problem during the climax. So make sure you do that first thing. For example, if your story is about a crime, make sure the protagonist discovers the identity of the criminal and catches them. You don't want to reach the resolution with the main conflict still unresolved, because that just means your story is nowhere near ending, which means you haven't reached the resolution. In fact, you haven't even reached the climax yet. Number 2, fulfill the promise of the genre you're writing. With every genre, readers have certain expectations. For example, in romance novels, readers expect a happy ending. In crime and mystery, readers expect the criminal to be caught and dealt with. In high fantasy, readers expect something along the lines of good triumphing over evil. So you want to fulfill this promise to your readers. So basically, don't give them a love story and then kill the love interest in the resolution after the characters get together. Of course, tragic love stories are an exception, but know what's expected from your genre and make it happen. Number 3, have the main character accept their transformation. Your main character started the story with internal conflict, but they've also grown a lot throughout the story. They've transformed, or at least discovered what they truly need to be happy. So in the resolution, they should accept who they are and come to terms with their reality. This ties into your character's want versus need. They thought they wanted something in order to be happy at the start of the book, but as time went on, they've learned what they truly need to be happy. Here's an example. Your main character starts the story wanting to party all the time in order to be happy. But by the end of the story, they learn that what they truly need is their family's love and support. And they accept that they have issues and are now working on them. Number 4, wrap up all loose ends. This includes plot points that haven't been resolved yet. So in the resolution, you want to resolve them. It could be as simple as wrapping up a subplot, such as friends apologizing to each other after arguing for the majority of the book, because you don't want to end the story with things hanging in the air and your readers wondering how things turned out. Number 5, give readers closure. This is similar to wrapping up loose ends, but it goes a step further. This includes things mentioned throughout the book that could be considered as plot holes if they're left unanswered. So it's your job to answer them in the resolution so readers understand everything. For example, let's say your main character discovers an anonymous letter at some point in the story. If this hasn't been answered yet, in the resolution, make sure you answer the question, who wrote the letter? You don't want readers finishing the book and then wondering, but what about the letter? Who wrote it? So answer everything readers might have questions about. And finally, number 6, contrast the final image with the beginning of the story. Your main character has transformed throughout the story, and so has the world around them. Let's consider the Hunger Games for a second. Katniss starts the story poor and barely surviving with her mom and sister. But by the end of the story, Katniss has a house and they're well off. So we get a contrasting image with how things started and how things ended. And we also get to see how Katniss changed internally too. You want to do the same in your story so that everything comes back full circle. For instance, if you're writing a romance novel, this contrast can be seen by the final image where the main character is finally with their love, whereas in the beginning they weren't, they were single. And it's like that for every genre and story you write. You want to do a contrast between the end of your story and the beginning of the story. So that's all I have for you today. I'd love to know, are you satisfied with your story's resolution, or do you plan on rewriting it? Let me know in the comments. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe because I put out weekly writing advice videos that will take your story to the next level. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media to see what I'm up to from day to day and to chat with me. And before we go, I just want to give a quick shout out to Sarah Frayne, Alan J. Early, and Noah Kovanti from my shout out tier over on Patreon, as well as all my amazing patrons. Thank you all so much for your support. I really appreciate you. And remember, Nour for president.